Hi friends, welcome back to Art Hour with Mrs. Paul. So happy you're back with us today. Now today we're going to be completing our Square One fundraiser piece. And so today we're going to be using watercolor techniques. So let's create our I can statement right here. I can use watercolor techniques. And techniques just means tricks. So different ways you can use watercolor in order to complete my piece, my art, A-R-T. All right, squeeze that in there. I can use watercolor techniques in order to complete my art piece. Now today you're going to be using a couple different watercolor technique tools. So first up, these are watercolor pencils. So they look a lot like colored pencils. And then you'll be using watercolor or temper cakes to add our background color. You'll also be using brushes as well, a variety of different sizes. So I'm going to first start with the watercolor pencils, and what I'd like to do with these is using my image, because our I can statement on our last session was I can use observation or memory. So I'm going to work from observation, use my image to create the color in my piece. So I'm looking at the middle of the flower and I see some black or gray and I see some purple. So I'm going to pull those colors out. Now as you look at the watercolor pencils, make sure they say watercolor on them. Some colored pencils may have snuck in. You can sort those out if this one's a regular pencil. Let me take that out. So I'm going to color with the black, just like I would with a colored pencil. And you can create value with your watercolor pencil. So you can color really hard and then color softly to make it go from dark to light. And then I might add a little purple on that one side as well. So these are great for doing details, all the small things in your image, or if you want to blend colors together. So then I might use some green and yellow because that's what I see in the background. I might use that for the leaf. So color with yellow, a little lightly, and then I'm gonna color back over with the green. So I did yellow to green. It's like a from dark to light. Now what's really cool about watercolor pencils, so to make them look like paint, to make them look like watercolor, all you do is add some water right on top. And you'll see these colors will really just blend together. Let me move on so I can show you the next technique. So maybe I could do red in the top half of the leaf. So this is kind of like a two-step process. So you're coloring like with a colored pencil and then putting just water on top. I did red, and maybe I could add a little pink. Okay, so coloring really hard or dark and then lightly will help you to create value, which is an art element. And you could see that on our elements board in the back of the room. Okay, now let me show you what this looks like. So now I'm going to be using brush. And I'm going to pick an appropriate size. So if it's a small detail, I would choose a small brush. If it's a larger detail, I would use a larger brush. And mine is more like a medium. So I use a medium-sized brush. And now when I don't want to just tap my brush and get the water off, I want to have a good size amount. You can scrape your brush on the side. So you shouldn't hear any tapping. And then I just take the water and go right on top of the pencil. And you'll see that pencil, it'll still, might see some of the pencil strokes, but it'll really turn, look a lot like paint. I kind of like seeing some of the pencil still. Makes it look like little veins in the leaf. Right now I might do the petals. Okay, so as you can see, the details pop out really well with that. Now, as for your background or some larger areas, you can use just the watercolor paint. And so, same technique, I might move to the background here. So taking my time, and I'm gonna do blue around the outside because I don't have any blue in the center. So right now I have red and green in the center. So I can choose a different color to make the red and green pop out. I might do blue around my frame. So I'm really going to take my time to do this today. You can just go spin, spin, spin. And I would do blue around the bottom here. All right, and I would move around until I'm all complete my image. All right, now friends, you are allowed to now at this moment to get started. So please use both tools today. So you want to use the watercolor pencil first for your details, and then the watercolor for your larger details or for your background. All right, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for being respectful, and you may get to work now.